right, well, we haven't even processed Alex Morgan's retirement yet, and we're already having to process Tobin Heath. I feel like this post is a very great indicator of not just how we feel, but how a lot of soccer fans hear after hearing the news of Tobin Heath's retirement. Last week, U.S. women's soccer legend, two-time World Cup champion Tobin Heath announced her retirement on The Recap Show, which is her podcast with Kristen Press that she co-hosts alongside of her. So here was the start of the podcast and how they opened up this announcement.
Tobin, Tobin, Tobin.
Tobin, Tobes.
Tobin.
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 Hey, Tobin.
Tobin.
Tobin Heath.
Hey, it's me. Okay, let's see if I make it through.
Take number 978. I keep getting emotional.
Dear Tobes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations for an amazing career.
As a player, you were magical.
I don't even know Tobin Heath personally, but I was getting emotional during that. What did you think about these handwritten letters?
Oh my gosh, I thought that was such a fantastic touch. They always talk about how personal handwritten letters are, so to be able to make it, to modernize it, that's what I'm trying to say, in that way, in like that announcement form, I'm like, how special is that? But wow. Yeah, I think I'm right there with the fans. Still processing Alex Morgan. Now you're talking about Tobin Heath, and you're also talking about somebody who was a part of a World Cup team that just kind of was so. I don't know how to describe it.
To say the least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, I wish that there was a bigger word for it, but yeah, very much a part of like multiple iconic World Cup teams.
I think people were even calling it like the golden era, and obviously hopefully we have another golden era with the U.S. women's national team and to see success like they've had in the past. But it is just really crazy to me to feel like this is like the time that we're in. And yes, I think that her career slowly took a turn to retirement after her knee injury a couple years ago. But it's just really cool to see those handwritten letters because it kind of convicted me too. I'm like, shoot, I gotta like get on the handwritten notes for people. This is like so sweet and so genuine, and I love seeing all those former teammates in there as well. But here's a really special former teammate, Abby Wambach, and what she had to say to Tobin.
Here we have a stack of letters from people that were on this journey with you. This is from Abby. You are someone I found to truly love soccer, much more than I ever could. Another thing to spark my envy. I also loved how big you smiled when things worked out and you placed the ball exactly where you wanted it to be. It often felt like a work of art when the ball was at your feet. I tried really hard to get into your headspace, at least your assumed headspace, to maybe try and connect in a deeper dimension of existence. Because honestly, I think that's where you went when you played. You went somewhere else, but were capable of being completely present. Maybe that's what presence is. I don't know. But where you went, I wanted to go.
I mean, that's amazing.
From one of the best players in the world.
Okay, two things. Did you notice the sofa they were sitting on? It was all jean. It was all denim.
Oh, I didn't even notice
I had to go back and watch it twice, so go back
because
later.
I'm over here with like foggy eyes.
I know, it is emotional, but I'm like, wait, I like am so into this interview right now and this podcast when like the setup is kind of sick. It's like an all jean couch.
That's sick.
So you have to go see it. But I loved how she said, this is Abby. It's like, we don't even need to tell you who Abby is. You know exactly who Abby is. So I thought that was just added to the ballerness of this interview.
I love how she described the work of art, because what I remember from her career was just the fact that like she could dribble past anybody. It was just like you didn't fear what the lineup was, especially back to like World Cup stuff. Like it didn't matter who Germany had on their team or who Brazil had on their team, because it was like, no, she can dribble through freaking anybody. So to put it as a work of art and the ball placement, I mean, hell, you're going to have all the confidence on your shoulders once you make it through a number of like all-stars that you're competing against. And I had an extra layer of love for her too, because Arsenal's one of my favorite teams growing up, and she played for the women's Arsenal team before her career came to an end through injury. for the most part, because she tried to bounce back after that, but her contract wasn't renewed. So very special.
Very special. And I just loved how Abby Wambach talked about like the art that she's, because when a really good player plays creatively, it does look like a piece of artwork.
Yeah.
And it does feel beautiful
It's
to watch the game of
mesmerizing.
soccer. I remember I got to watch the U.S. women's soccer team come. They were in Nashville, Tennessee, just playing like the random game.
Oh, a friendly
and I had
game?
and I had nosebleed seats in Nissan Stadium, and it was just beautiful to watch them pass and to watch her specifically play. It was just so entertaining and fun. And I mean, she's been a baller even since college. I think she won 3 national championships with the Tar Heels. So
Yep, she
pretty
went where every
incredible,
woman
and
wanted to
just
go.
totally, she knew exactly where to go. But just to list off some of her accolades: 13 years with the senior women's national team, 2 World Cups, 3 Olympic medals. 2 of those were gold, and the 2016 U.S. Soccer Athlete of the Year. One of her biggest moments was scoring in the 2015 World Cup against Japan, which was such a fun moment. I remember watching that, jumping up and down on my couch and during the summer. And she also won in the inaugural NWSL trophy in 2013 with Portland. So really cool to just see her career not only be capped by U.S. women's soccer, but also the NWSL and what she's done there. So I just love that, and kind of crazy that she is retiring. I didn't really see any trickles of this throughout the news. It kind of seemed like they did have a really great build up to this on the media side, at least.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that anything kind of was hinting to it. Like I said, more so, or I think you mentioned it moments ago, it's kind of hard because at one point, like, injuries in your body, they're going to kind of speak for themselves. And I think she's also just entering a new era in her life, kind of like Alex Morgan is. Like, she's just ready to focus on being a mom, and hopefully we'll see her on the coaching side of something. That's full speculation, but I would love to see Alex Morgan as a coach. But for Tobin, I think that for her too, it's just like now it's time to just kind of focus on not having that athletic, ready, go body, but just kind of like being present, like Abby said, in a different way now.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen a lot of these former U.S. women's soccer players start a podcast, like Tobin has, or just have a media presence. But is there one women's soccer player from the U.S., maybe golden era, who you feel like, man, they don't really have a presence in the podcast space right now, but that you would love to see them there?
Oh, she wouldn't represent U.S., but hands down, I would want Sydney LaRue to start a podcast.
So good.
I want to hear from her all the time because I think it's something she's actually trying to do now. And over the past couple of years of her career right now, she's on a mental health break. She's got 2 kids and she's focusing forward, and she was married to a previous Premier League player that ended up in the MLS as well. So she's just got so many intricate perspectives. Canadian, so not too far away, but she leads with humor, but she has gone through a lot of adversity to where I feel like she can just speak to so many different things, and it would just be, I mean, you'd want to consume that podcast in a heartbeat.
That's so good. That's a great pick. So let's put her on a podcast with my girl who I loved growing up, Julie Ertz,
Ooh.
married to Zach Ertz
I
of the
love her
Washington
too.
Commanders. It could be a great little pairing.
Yep.
I loved her blue pre-wrap. I thought she was so sick, just being that defense for the U.S. women's national team. Like, we were always talking about Alex Morgan, but I loved seeing her occasionally. She wasn't always on the screen, and then she popped up, like, I really like that girl. So those are my childhood memories of her, but I think that'd be
we
a
could
really
throw
cool.
Mel Pugh in the mix too.
Yep, there we go. That would be
She's still
baller.
very early in her career, but she's starting motherhood and all these things. But she'd be another one. I mean, she's been a baller since like baby.
Oh my gosh, so young.
Yeah.
And I remember my little sister, Mallory, was so pumped to see someone who shared her same name on the women's soccer team.
Yeah.
She was freaking out. She's like, that's my girl. That's my girl. I'm like, you don't know each other, but sure.
We're friends anyway.
We're friends anyway. But no, I love that. And I think it's important too for some of these players during that golden era to get in the podcast space and in the media space to not only just have something new for their own personal and professional life, but to really speak into their experience, because they had such an incredible run.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear everything about that experience, and I want to hear everything about what it took to win.
Oh, big time. And I love that you kind of mentioned that, because to think like the advice that the golden era gals could give, like, the NWSL is growing. And there was a lot of adversity that these golden era players had to go through to even be considered or be taken seriously as women's soccer players and be considered ballers. And those World Cups that they won, like, that was really just like they started to bring in fans that would only watch the men's side in a number of ways. So kind of their carve out in this world and in this sport, I would just love to hear it from an unfiltered perspective.
Definitely.